Alright, so this is the run for Chicken Coop Rev 2, and this is Chicken Coop number 2. I built this completely out of, from scratch, out of 2x4s and siding material and OSB lumber sheets. But let me show you the improvements we made here for this coop. The door now has a 3/4 inch gap, 1/2 inch gap all the way around, so it's easy to open and close. To access the coop during the daytime, we have a high voltage disconnect switch here, which when you open it, it disconnects the high voltage from this section of the coop, which includes the door. So you can actually leave the high voltage connected to the entire system without unplugging it, and then you can access the chicken feeder here and this section and get in to the coop. This is the feeder for the chicken coop. I made this out of lumber, and I have a little window here so you can see when it's empty. It needs to be refilled, but it holds about a 2-day supply worth of food. These are my little Aracanas from this year. And alright, so this is the ramp going up into the coop, and I did a vertical door on this one. To close it, you access it from the other side of the coop, which is the outside. Oh. Oops. Alright. The windows, you can slide this piece of Lexan over it to close it up in the wintertime to minimize heat loss, still provide ventilation. I have an internal nesting box. I have 3 of them on this coop. But you undo these latches, lift this door up, and then use this little catch that I made. I use this piece of wood and a spring on a screw here, and then you can just latch that piece in place. And here's the 3 nesting boxes. These panels are removable, so when you have it open, you can just get in there and clean it up with a vacuum. And the reason I made this internal box is because it then gives the bears less to grab onto. This handle is the only thing they can really grab onto and try and tear apart the chicken coop. Alright, this is the 2 doors for opening to clean the coop out. And there's the high voltage chargers for the coop and then for the garden. I have 2 separate ones, so just in case one shorts out, the other one's still active. But those are very hot, high voltage chargers. I've touched it enough times to know I really don't want to touch it again. So to open these doors, you undo this latch, undo this latch, just pull straight back, and you can see how I made the insulation on these doors. Is basically 2x4s on their sides and then 1/2 inch lumber or sheeting OSB and then siding, and then there's insulation embedded in between them, and the whole coop is made that way. Very thick walls to keep the chickens warm in the wintertime. And this is a view of the nesting boxes from the inside of the coop. You can see these panels slide in and out to make it easier to clean the coop. All of them slide in and out. And the chickens have a little ramp to get up onto their roost, which is a removable 2x4s. And there's 2 of them in here, 2 roosting bars, 2 windows. I made this whole thing as a module, so basically this portion bolts onto these sides, which bolted together. The whole thing is removable, can be taken apart, but makes it really easy to clean by opening the 2 doors. And then to close the door on the chicken coop at night when the chickens are on their roosts, I have this, which has a cable which goes up into the roof and then goes to the other side of the coop. And when I raise this, the chicken coop closes. When I pull it down, it opens. So it makes it really easy to make sure the chickens are secure at night. I'm going to automate that opening and closing soon, and I'll do a video on that. But close up the coop. I haven't finished it yet, but this bottom section here is going to be storage for the chicken, or the bedding material, which is basically shaved pine. I'm going to put siding on here and then doors on it. But the coop, the run itself has 14 gauge welded wire fencing, which is stapled at every single point along the way to try and minimize a bear grabbing it and kind of pulling it apart. I know a determined bear will do it, but hopefully they run into the high voltage wiring first and it deters them from even attempting it. But that's probably one of the worst fears I have about this coop, is the bears are going to tear it up. And this is the run. And what I did here is I have an internal section, the piece of wood that's laying on the ground over there. I can actually isolate this section of the run so that I can grow grass in here for the chickens. They like wallowing around in the dirt. You see the little pit they dig. And Mr. Rooster. There's Mr. Rooster out. One of the leghorns. Another leghorn. Oh, shading for the run. I put two 200-watt solar panels together and put a frame on them, and it's just sitting at the flat area over this run. And then I run the wire on the back side back to the charge controller, and then I have this daytime roosting bar, so when the chickens just want to hang out, they can just hop up on this roosting bar and just hang out. Alright, well, I hope you enjoyed the tour of the chicken coop. Thanks for watching.